Okay, we're here with Miguel Diaz in Las Vegas, Nevada. Miguel, you recently attended the funeral services for Angelo Dundee. Would you mind talking a little bit about what happened at the funeral?
No, the beautiful was beautiful. Was over 1,000 people on Clearwater. That's what the last couple of years Angelo Dundee lives in the same neighborhood of his beautiful son Jimmy Dundee, and there was full of people, very old people, very good friends of him, including Bob Aaron, Jim Kilroy, Bruce Trampler, matchmaker on Top Rank, myself, Brad Jacobs. A lot of people that got a lot of memories with Angelo Dundee. In my case, for instance, actually when I have a fighter by the name Kira Kimanifoshi, who was one of the best fighters I ever trained, a kid from Africa, from Nigeria. He got problems when the fight that he fought for the title with Roberto Quiroga. Both kids ended up in the hospital. The 6 ounces gloves, they were canceled after that fight because it was a brutal fight. My kid was dying in one room, in the emergency room, and Quiroga was taking 66 stitches on his face. That tells you more or less what kind of a fight was. Anyway, I was really thinking about quitting training fighters at that particular time. That was in 1990, and the first person who called my house was Angelo Dundee. I don't know him very well, but I got a couple of acquaintances with him because I got a fighter that fought his brother, Uriah Graham. I fought him with Joe Lassisi, and we were sympathetic anytime we see each other. He's Italian, I'm a half Italian, but I was not really a friend of him. And it was funny when he called me. He said, "Miguel, you're a young trainer. You're one of the up-and-coming trainers and good trainer. Don't quit now. Not your fault. It happened in boxing." And eventually he inspired me to keep doing what I'm doing, training fighters.
Wow, that's great. Okay, and so what was the sentiment at the funeral? Was it more of a sorrowful thing, or were people celebrating?
No, the other way around. Actually, they say that the only way Angelo Dundee would like his funeral to be happy people in there. They celebrate not the death of Angelo Dundee, the life of Angelo Dundee.
Oh,
and there was a lot of the guys that do the urologies. They were fantastic. Of course, Mohammed was there. He was the center of the attraction on the whole thing. A lot of the things was involving him, Sugar Ray Leonard, and all the good fighters that he trained through his life, and all the things that happened. Bob Aaron come out with a thing about he not only was a good trainer, he was a great motivator. He was a great cat man, and even mentioned my name in that particular thing when they say we have it between us. To me, one of the best, if it's not the best cat man in the business right now, Miguel Diaz. He told about an anecdote that happened in Italy and Via del Reggio. One of the guys that got the night before the fight, he got a problem with one of the girlfriends of one of the mafia guys. And then when they come out of the restaurant, they put blankets on them and they beat the hell out of them.
Wow.
And they cut them up. And like at 3 o'clock in the morning, they went to the hotel and they wake up Angelo and he stitched him up. Which is, I never learned how to do that. I'm not a doctor, but eventually he was. And well, everything was beautiful. I can't remember the name of the gentleman, but he knows him from, he was 12 years old, and he was in the school, and he was snitching out of the school to go to the Tillman gym. At that time was the Cathedral of Boxing. And the owner, when he see the kid 12 years old, he said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, I come to meet fighters and get their autographs." And the guy kicked him out of the gym. And when he was leaving, he saw Angelo. He didn't know who Angelo was. Actually, he said, "I saw this nice small guy with a smile on his face." He said, what happened?" He said, "Well, they kicked me out. I came with my book to get some autograph." He said, "Okay, come with me." He took him to the second floor, and he made him meet some of the fighters that were training there. Paddy DeMarco was one of them. And After that, he took him down to the first floor where most of the great fighters that were there. And you know, from that day, that guy became Angelo, his friend, and this is about 40 years ago. And the guy, you know, he was very, very emotional when he mentioned that when God created Angelo, he said he used a lot of kindness to make him. Because Angelo, he got his philosophy that don't cost anything to be nice, you know. And eventually he shows that on the funeral. Everybody got a good word for him.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.